105.9 Academy FM.
The sound of Folkestone.
I'm very, very lucky. I'm very pleased to be able to say, good morning, Christian. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Wayne. How are you and all the listeners today?
Fantastic. We're not too bad. It's Monday. We're trying to work out whether it's a grumpy Monday or a happy Monday.
It's a happy Monday because it's not raining.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I should imagine you, of all people, have had the lovely displeasure of every single bit of weather that the weather's thrown in the last couple of months.
Well, the last 8 months, well, 7-8 months to be fair.
7-8 months.
I mean, I did start this challenge. I began on the 8th of August, so I chose the wrong year to begin because it was apparently it was the wettest winter or the wettest year in 100. I can only vouch for 39.
That's just... So, basically, it's been a lot of bad weather on your journeys, especially the last couple of weeks as well, I should imagine, with all the snow.
Hello.
Sorry, Christian, I should imagine we're working with the line and the wind this morning.
Yeah.
What I wanted to ask you first, if that was okay, is because a lot of people listening to the show, I've introduced you and said what you were doing, but I'd like to hear it from yourself. When you started this journey in August to walk around the country to raise awareness for homeless servicemen, what was your inspiration? And what kind of made you decide I'm going to get up and just start walking around the country?
Well, basically, before I decided to do this, I was self-employed. That kind of fell through, didn't work out. And while I was self-employed, I rather foolishly never paid my national insurance stamp.
Right.
So after the business went through, I then started looking for employment. That was virtually impossible. Out of the 120 companies I applied for, only about 3 actually had the decency to get back and say thanks, but no thanks. So I then went down to the job centre to sign on job seekers allowance. But because I hadn't paid my national insurance stamp for the 3 years, I just discovered that I wasn't entitled to claim any money. So with nothing coming in whatsoever, I was basically pushed to being homeless myself. But I thought, well, if I'm going to be homeless, I'm going to do it in style and not just sleep in one shop doorway night after night, but I'll sleep in different shop doorways night after night and research looking to find out how many people are actually, if it had ever been done before, because I was still living in Blackpool at the time. I'm not from Blackpool, I'm from the Midlands. And I used to love walking up and down the prom, and just wanted to wonder what it was attached to. So I looked into it, I researched it, spent 7 months getting fit, training for it. I sold absolutely everything else I owned then, and practiced to become homeless and fit again. So, and
now, 8 months later since August, you're...
14 months later.
14 months, sorry.
I sold everything I owned between the December and January of 2011, 2012. And then from January 2012 to July 2012, I got fit again. I spent a lot of time walking up and down Britain's Canal towpaths, practicing to be homeless. I set my date, I set my webpage up for the 8th of August at 8 o'clock in the morning. So at 8 o'clock on the 8th of the 8th, I left Blackpool going anti-clockwise around Britain.
Amazing.
So today is day 223 for me.
200. And when do you think that, I mean, have you got a date in mind of when you'll get to the end of your journey?
My plan sort of fell to bits a little bit because when I initially set out, I was hoping to be in Dover for Christmas Day, which would get me around Scotland for the summer. Obviously now it's I'm sat on the top of Dover Hill, overlooking the whole of Folkestone, and it's now sort of like the middle of March. And to complete this safely, I need to be going around the top of Scotland during the summer period. Now, obviously, I'm not going to make it for this summer, so now I've got to slow it down a little bit to do the East Coast, another winter on the East Coast, to be going around the top of Scotland for next spring, summer, to be finishing the winter or the autumn or winter of the year after. So, yeah, I initially guesstimated it would take me 18 months to 2 years. I initially wrote a book by a guy called John Morley who did it in 1978. He reckoned he did it in 9 months. I don't think that's possible. I've now got the technology to prove exactly where I am, what I'm doing. I not only doing it the longest way, so whenever I get to an estuary where there is a ferry, I give the ferry a wave, and then I follow the estuary as far as inland as need be to cross the first bridge to follow it back down the other side to pick up again around the coast. So yeah, my plans fell to bits a bit, but I'm now looking at it's going to take between 2 and 3 years to complete.
Christian, there are so many questions I could ask you, and I do want to get a few of them out of the way, because one of the things that I have seen is your Facebook page, which has currently 12,769 likes.
Right.
Has input left...
Well, that's my Facebook support page now. I want to say a big thank you to the guys that set this up. I think I've got... on my actual Facebook page itself is Christian Around Britain. That's me. I set that up, and when I began, I only had about 100, 150 people that were my close friends and family on that page. I've now got 15,000 followers.
It's amazing.
The support page was set up purely by... it was a guy called Bob Duncan who dreamed the idea, and it was to help me out, because I'm getting a hell of a lot of messages. I can't cope with it all. And obviously, my position, my biggest nightmare is charging my iPhone to document my entire journey. I document it every single day with a blog of what day it is, where I've gone from, where I've gone to, in a detailed log of that day and that journal. And I also take a picture every mile or two to prove exactly where I am. And then I upload those onto Facebook when and where I get to Wi-Fi spots every single day.
It's amazing. And how have you found the support from the people? I mean, have people helped you out? Obviously, there's been, some bad weather conditions along the way.
I'll tell you what, I sort of lost faith in everything before I started this, in people, in the system, in everything. I thought when I started this, it was me against the world again. But I kid you not, I just cannot believe the reception and the welcome and the help that I've received from, everyone. Now, I've made friends with everyone from the homeless to multi-millionaires and anywhere in between of that. It's just been amazing, and it's took off in a way that I couldn't have imagined, to be fair.
It's very humbling, Christian. I mean, and the fact that, it's quite a selfless thing, giving up 2 years of your life to walk around the country to raise awareness for lots of people's situation. And,
Well, I'm actually raising money for Help for Heroes.
Yep.
I'm an ex-soldier myself. Now, it's quite ironic. I'm sat here talking to you now because I first came to Folkestone on the 3rd of September in 1990. I can now look over in the distance and see the camp, Sir John Moore Barracks, where I first started my army career.
Amazing.
It's great being back here again. I've had the week off with a good friend of mine that I was actually at school with that lives in the area, which, as I said, when I do usually take a day off, which hasn't been many in the 223 days I've been going, my biggest problem is, washing my kit, sorting my life out, ready for the next battle. Because I'm sticking as close to the coast as I am, I'm on cliffs and I'm covered in mud, bog. I don't get to shower that often. But I'm raising money for Health Heroes, but I'm also raising awareness for homeless, in particular, the ex-soldiers who end up on the streets and are let down by the system, basically.
Which is a terrible tragedy as well, considering.
And I have met a lot of them on my travels.
And Christian, I mean, obviously, Folkestone obviously holds dear to you as well, and I'm glad you had a time to spend a day off in the town and everything. I hope it recharged your battery slightly.
It has, mate, yeah, but I'm already sort of shin deep in bog again. But it doesn't matter. And I tell you what, this muddy clay stuff is some of the slippiest in 2,500 miles. Now, I'm currently in day 223. I'm on my 9th pair of boots. I've had 5 colds, 1 sickness and diarrhoea. I've had two injuries and 1 accident, and I will not stop. I won't stop. I've even said on many occasions on Facebook, which my mother doesn't like me saying so, but I said you're either watching the first and only man to ever walk the entire coast of Great Britain properly, that's right, without using a ferry, and sleeping rough every night, or you're watching me document my death. Either way, it'll be interesting.
Christian, everyone in the town's behind you. I mean, the support just from people in Folkestone on your Facebook page has been cracking. What I'd like to know is, what's your total money that you've managed to raise for this so far, really, since you started?
Right. Well, I initially set my target at £10,000. I thought that'd be great. But I think when I checked it this morning, it was £31,500.
That's just well done.
Thank you.
£31,000. It's just
and there's still more to go in that. There's a company at the moment that have been selling hoodies with my name on it. They've yet to put the monies from that in. I've also got a couple of cheques outstanding. The mayor of Folkestone and Hythe gave me a cheque for £200 the other day. There's still a lot more to go in from that, and it's great.
Yeah, of course. And just so I can obviously get the point out, and we will get this on our Facebook page, and obviously, we'll get our interview that we've just discussed. But how can people get involved? If they're listening to this now and they're thinking, "Oh, that man, he's doing something incredible. I want to, get involved." How can they show their support to you, Christian? What can they do?
I'll tell you what I'd love them to do is to go out there and find if they see a homeless person, doesn't matter who it is, just take them, a flask, a blanket or anything, mate. And I've always said that because I'll be all right. I'm carrying some of the kit, and I bought the homeless. I even took one for a few beers the other day, just to cheer him up and have a chat with him. Now, the kit I've got is fantastic. I mean, people always say, "Well, what about the cold?" It's not the cold that's my enemy, really. It's the rain, and it hasn't stopped raining. The support I'm getting at the moment, they can have me as a friend on Facebook, which is Christian Around Britain, or like and follow the support page. There's a group of guys out there that are helping me respond to some of the messages, and I get hundreds. It's my 39th birthday the other day. There's no way on this planet could I either read or respond to any of their messages, but thanks very much to everyone that did send me a message and has sent me a message. I just can't keep up. You know, people of Great Britain have really restored the faith in humanity. And I've also got, not only in Britain, but I've got followers all over the world now.
Christian, I think it's brilliant. I mean, you know, I know lots of people are sending you messages and you might not get back, but you're sure you probably read every single one. And, you know, I
can't get to read everything. I wish I could. I wish I could, but I can't, and that's the truth.
Yeah.
I'm just getting so many now. And as I said, it's my battery. The most important thing for my iPhone battery is my blog and my photos.
Well, on that note, I think probably we should let you go before we take any more of your battery. Would you mind, Christian, if we checked in with you every couple of weeks and just saw how you were getting on, and you know, and just sort of kept him as
that sounds fine, Wayne. No problem at all.
Brilliant. Thank you, Christian. Listen, I'll let you get on back to your boggy clay and stuff like that and everything else. It's been absolutely brilliant talking to you. You're doing a wonderful thing there, mate.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing the Battle of Britain Memorial in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, I shall let you get on, Christian. Thank you very much for speaking to us. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Wayne. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye, listeners. Bye-bye. Bye.
105.9 Academy FM Folkestone.
Made in Folkestone.